Chief Wallace here? Anybody seen him?
Haven't seen him.
Be right back.
We're having serious dispatch problems with 911 center.
Really?
Yeah, paging system from the fire company.
Is it equipment or personnel
Well,
or both?
it's both, but it's they've had equipment problems. I mean, last week we went a day without paging.
Really? They have
mean,
plenty of money to buy equipment. Plenty of money.
Something went down
understand
with their
that.
paging system, and
I never hear about it. I'm on the EMA board. Never hear
Yeah.
about it. We'll talk after this, okay? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the August 21st Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. We'll have a roll call, please.
Good morning. Eaglin,
Here.
Carla,
here.
Mayor Courtney.
Here. Board, have you had an opportunity to review the minutes from the August 4th meeting? If so, we'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as printed for the August 4th meeting.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Moving on to claims. Board, have you had an opportunity to review the claims as presented by Clerk Treasurer today? So we'll,
Mayor, I've had an opportunity to review the claims. I'll make a motion to approve the claims as submitted.
I'll second David's motion.
any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And now we'll move on to new business. Brian, we'll invite you up here to discuss a sewer line easement at 1524 Craigmont Street.
It's just like it says, you should have that in your paperwork, the sewer line easement. It's a sewer line easement from Ms. Johnson. We went through there. This is actually, we're trying to clean up something that we did probably back in 2019, and we had an agreement with her, and then the mayor passed away, and then we had COVID, so this has kind of been dragging on, and we finally got it. I had Joe draft the easement up about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we're just trying to clean up. But that's pretty much it. You have the documents. I gave you guys a little map of where it is, and
And the work is already completed there.
yeah, it was
relative
in the
to that.
prior sewer project.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is from days gone by.
Okay,
Yeah, time flies.
so nothing has to be dug up or anything? We
No,
just wanna find
no,
out.
Just
this was just to take-
formalizing the easement, actually, where
Yes.
the line already
Correct.
exists.
Right.
And you have
And I was just really, it's more informative than it is anything.
you have a
for you
map.
guys.
You have a map attached to the sewer line easement agreement that shows it's the dotted line that's going through there, where our line is. Is that correct, Brian?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion, we approve the sewer line easement for 1524 Craigmont Street.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Okay, got a second. Any discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right, Brian, you're still up. We'll talk about the SRF disbursement requests
Right, we've
31
got-
through 35.
We've got requests, like he said, 31 through 35. 31 is from Commonwealth Engineers, and it's 3 invoices totaling $35,289.43 for the resident RPR stuff, $19,475 for the construction fees, and $1,376.31 for the erosion control. But I didn't give you guys a total on your sheet, I don't think. The total amount is $56,141 for SRF 31.
Okay.
I must have eliminated that off of my notes. But I will have the totals on the others for. The second one, we're gonna do all 5, Joe, and just vote on them.
Yep.
The second one is from Brackney for the water main replacements. The total amount of that invoice is $623,488. Retainage amount is $31,174, so the disbursement from the SRF will be $592,314. And then we have another one from Brackney because Brackney did not submit one last month. Their total amount of that invoice is $449,400. The retainage amount we'll be keeping is $22,470, and the amount of the SRF disbursement is $426,930. Number 34 is for Dave O'Mara Contracting, and they're the ones working on the water treatment plants. The total amount of that invoice is $648,216. The retainage amount we'll be keeping is $32,411, and the total amount of the SRF disbursement will be $615,805. And number 35, to MW Cole Constructions, they're the company working on the water storage tanks. The total amount of their invoice is $156,100. The retainage amount we'll be keeping is $7,805. And the total amount of the SRF disbursement will be $148,295.
Do we have any tanks out of service right now?
State Road 62 tank,
That's the only one that's out of service.
correct.
I thought the tank at the state hospital was out of service, which is being reconditioned.
No,
with the-
we filled it back up. It's being used. We'll
Oh,
have
it
to
is.
drain it again once we go to the work because
Okay,
it obviously, we were using it before.
yeah, okay.
And but we will have to drain it again once we get a quote, and I can give you a little update on the water tower work. That's Division B. They're beginning the work on the north water tower. They're currently working on the State Road 62 tower, and it's down, and we actually are working with Kent. If we get low on water, we have agreement with them that they share water with us. And we're waiting on the quote to repair the east 1 million gallon water storage tank. And that will probably require a change order at some point.
Yep.
Once we get some pricing, Commonwealth will get a change order in, and I'll present that for Division B.
Okay.
Division A update, we've got some, they're in the process of upgrading the water treatment plants. They've been doing work at the West End oil field and at the well at number 7, which we call the JPG well, but it doesn't have anything to do with JPG. It's just, that's what it's called.
That's where it used to go.
Yeah, and they've poured some concrete pads there, and they've installed a new well valve, and they've installed an access road to finish their work.
So some of this tank repair could actually get into next year easily, couldn't it?
Possibly, they're doing pretty good though. I think the tower. You're talking about the towers. Depending upon the east tank and what it takes to repair that, I think they can be done by the year end. And depending upon weather, they've had
Sure.
pretty good weather, and it just I hope it doesn't, but they were one of the first ones on the job
Right.
to start. And so as our engineer told us, the tank people are totally different people. They're their own little world. So, but I'm hoping we get everything finished, and the only thing that's remaining is we're going to be painting some of the towers. I don't know if you want me to talk about that at all, or
Yeah.
okay. And then Division C, the water main and service installations, as you know, have been completed in Hillcrest. The mains and meter services are complete in Sunrise. Paving started last week, and it should be going on this week in Sunrise, and hopefully it'll be completed by the end of the week. Hopefully before that. They think it'll be sooner than that, but I don't like to get too optimistic when it comes to that stuff. So, and then they're working in, the main is mostly installed on Franks Drive. And once the paving is completed in Sunrise, that crew will come over to Franks Drive and start installing the water main service lines. And then the remaining work after that is Flint Street, and we still have to go across the golf course.
We are inching our way
Yeah,
toward,
it's-
and I mean, like the conversation we had the other day, we're actually ahead of schedule.
Yes.
We're not happy with the schedule, but contractually, we're ahead of
Right.
schedule.
And
We're all anxious to do the surface restoration because that's been Division C and the road work because of the underlying main work. That's been the most disruptive of the entire project. Nobody,
Right.
is affected by the tower, or I mean, the
tank-
water towers and
the
tanks
treatment
and the
plants.
treatment plant
Right.
work.
They
But
don't even
they're
know that
driving
went
across
on.
the neighborhood roads every day for the last several months, and that's been an impact. So I appreciate everybody's patience there, but we are closing in on it. The surface restoration is complete in Hillcrest. It's partially complete in Sunrise. By mid-September, they'll be working on that in Franks Drive, and then we'll move to the last neighborhood, which is Flint Street.
What does
Correct.
restoration include when you say, is it just for the road?
Nope,
Because-
it's the road and yard work and everything. Before they leave Sunrise, it should be everything.
Graded.
We talked
Fine.
about that at our meeting, yeah. And we have another construction meeting today. Yeah, it should be final grading, should be done.
Then when will they come back and do kind of the work across the driveways? Will that happen after the Franks Drive main road gets paved? And
That
then
I don't
come
know. I'll
back?
have to ask
That's
them
probably
that.
another team, but.
I'll have to check that
Okay.
because I don't know that. I'll make, because like I said, we have a construction meeting today and I can find that out.
So some of the driveways may have to be repaired.
Oh, anyone they
Almost all.
cross, it gets repaired with like or better
Okay.
material. I mean, if it was asphalt, they replace it with asphalt. It was concrete, they replace it with concrete. Unless the
Concrete or
homeowner
asphalt.
requests something different.
All right.
If it's gravel, it's gravel.
Yeah. We're
But,
closing in on it. It's been
We need
a
to.
process, but we need to approve the draws.
Yes, we need to, yeah, approve, have a motion and approve those
Okay.
five.
I make a motion, we approve the water project SRF distribution request for 31 through 35.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Any discussion or comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Brian, thanks for the update too of all three of those divisions.
Okay.
Now we'll move into a few resolutions for event street closures or other street closures.
The first one is resolution number 42B-2023, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, regarding a street closings for Trinity United Methodist Church's annual trunk or treat event.
Good morning, Pastor.
Whereas there's been a request
Good
filed by Reverend Doug Walker on behalf of the Trinity United Methodist Church for a street closing in connection with the church's annual trunk or treat event for children to be held on Sunday, October 29th, 2023. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that both lanes of Broadway Street running north and south between Main Street and Third Street shall be closed from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday, October 29th, 2023.
Another year's gone by.
Already?
It's fast already. Well, welcome back, and this is a great event. The children and other members of the community really enjoy it. So thank you guys for hosting this again every year. Any additional updates you'd like to give from this year? Any changes from last year?
The only change that we're thinking about is asking other churches to join in and share in the fun.
Fun. Good deal.
You asking them to come to your all's place?
Yeah, to our place, yeah, just
That'd be great.
to fill in some,
Yeah.
we have some extra space, so we think we can put them in there.
Have you picked out your costume yet for the event?
No, I usually, this is bad enough, so.
These are really, really technical questions we need to know the answers to, Doug.
No, sir, I have not.
Me neither.
Well, with that being unanswered, I'll make a motion we approve resolution 42B-2023.
I'll second that motion.
Costume to be named
Yes,
later.
at a
I'm
later
sorry,
date.
I don't know where, I don't think I put it in here, but we'll use the farmer's markets.
Footprint.
Oh, no, they're
Barricades.
barricades,
Oh,
sorry.
yes.
We don't need any extra barricades.
Okay,
Okay.
They're on premise.
good deal. That'd be fun.
Sorry.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
It's that easy.
So the next one is resolution number 43B-2023, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison regarding street and parking lot closings for the annual Soup Stew Chili and Brew Festival. Whereas there's been a request filed by Liz Saganovich on behalf of the Madison Area Chamber of Commerce for street and parking lot closings for said group in connection with the Soup Stew Chili and Brew Festival to be held on Saturday, October 14th, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that the following street shall be closed for parking purposes only from 6 p.m. until on Thursday, October 12th, 2023, through 8 p.m. on Saturday, October 9th, 2023. West Street from Main Street north to Fountain Alley. Be it further resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that the following streets and parking lots shall be closed on Saturday, October 14th, 2023, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Main Street from the west side of Jefferson Street to the east side of Broadway Street. West Street from Main Street north to Fountain Alley. West Street from Main Street south to Heights Lane, Mulberry Street from Main Street north to Fountain Alley, Mulberry Street from Main Street south to Heights Lane, Broadway Street from Main Street north to Third Street, each alley running north from Main Street to Fountain Alley between Jefferson Streets and Broadway Street, each alley running south from Main Street to Heights Lane between Jefferson Street and Broadway Street, and the city parking lot located at the corner of Main Street and Poplar.
Is Liz here? I don't see her. Any representative from the chamber here? Well, shall we table it?
Maybe, Mayor, I'll make a motion that we table this
Okay.
till next meeting, where we can have a representative.
Yeah, I have a few questions on this, but and not very many, but it'd be great to have her here. Okay.
I'll second
second
David's
that.
motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay.
Alrighty. The next resolution is 44B-2023, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, regarding a closing for a portion of Blackmore Street to perform sewer line repairs. Whereas there's a request filed by the City of Madison Sewer Department for permission to close Blackmore Street from State Street to Clifford Street to perform repairs for the sewer line along said street. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that Blackmore Street from State Street to Clifford Street will be closed to complete repairs to the sewer line along said street. Said street will be closed from August 28th, 2023 at 8 a.m. through September 1st, 2023 at 4 p.m.
It won't be closed that whole time. It's just while they're working. It'll be open.
Will the traffic be affected on State Street? I know it's a busy time.
You're right. We're trying not to affect the traffic on State Street. We're hoping by now there may be equipment that has to back into it every now and then because it's a deep sewer there that has to be repaired.
You think there'll be a flagman posted there during
Yes,
school hours?
yeah, we should have barricades up, yes.
You work with Hannah and just make sure there's good communication about this, particularly with
Yeah,
Jaw
we'll
and the
probably
neighbors.
put out a press release too,
Okay.
and Hannah gets those.
And Brian, is this the portion of the road, because Blackmore is on our paving list, is this,
This is all the way next to State Street, right, butts right into State Street. I don't know where you're paving, but,
I think it's north of there, actually.
I think the paving is
North of there.
north.
It's north.
yeah,
pretty north of-
this is, the line, the sewer line, if you look at that drawing, it's where they've got that circle.
Yep.
That's right on State Street. The sewer line is running right parallel with State, right on the north side of State Street, really, but we're gonna attack it from Blackmore, because like Charles said, the school's in session, and that road's heavily traveled then, so we've
Yep.
gotta come at it from the north. But it's deep there, and they've gotta work around water lines there, so there's a lot going on. I think there's a gas line in there.
Which
So-
line is it that we're, I mean, because it's at the intersection, it looks like Blackmore and State.
It's on the north side of State, running parallel with State.
Okay, so it's not going north of State, but it's parallel to State?
Yes.
How far down is this section gonna go where you have to do excavation for?
It's in Blackmore, and it'll go east, maybe 20 or 30 feet.
Okay.
There's a pole, a power pole in that area, and what they've done is they drove something when they put the grounding rod in, they drove it and through the line.
Was that recently?
No, that's the problem. I mean, yeah, so I don't know, that, it's not even used anymore. When we were cammering that
The
line.
pole's not, that line and that pole's not used anymore?
Correct, but that we found the line, the grounding rod was driven right through our sewer main. But, yeah, and I don't know who did it, so, and it could have been there, I don't know how long. I don't wanna speculate.
Just
so.
estimate, yeah. yes.
Yeah,
Just curious, how long would that have
I
been
don't
there?
have any idea. That's my estimation.
Long time?
Yeah, and it's so deep, see, and a lot of times they drive those in and abandon them and go do something else. So, yeah.
Just for future reference, I don't know that this is required.
Right, well, I didn't think so either, but we've got new rules and,
Well, we have a permitting process for excavation that the city is subjected to. And we'd like to be informed so that we can
That's-
properly prepare and communicate. We
Gotcha.
felt this was a good
So-
process to make sure
so
all
you're saying
that
we should
dialogue's
just
happening.
inform and not make a resolution?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, it's not a requirement that the city have a resolution.
If it's not an emergency, my preference is to do this so that we can
Okay.
properly keep
That's
everybody engaged. If it's not an
This,
emergency.
most, like, as you know,
Jill,
most of our.
agree or disagree, board?
most of our repairs are emergencies, but this one's not. We
Yeah.
planned this one out because we knew it was gonna be a complex
And I
repair.
think it's really good for informative reasons.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't want to run into a situation where if we have to close a street because of some type of an emergency, that then somebody cries a foul to say that, well, you closed my street and you've caused me damage and you didn't go through this process. I'm just trying to make it clear that I don't think this is a requirement for the city to close its own street in order to perform work.
Okay. I'll move we approve Resolution 44B 2023.
Second the mayor's motion.
Any discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any
Thank you.
opposed? Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
The next one is Resolution 45B-2023, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana,
Hi, Sue.
regarding closing a portion of Broadway Street for a Broadway school reunion and street dance. Whereas there's been a request filed by Sue Livers for a street closing in conjunction with the Broadway school reunion and street dance to be held on Saturday, September 16th, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that Broadway Street from the alley north of Presbyterian Avenue to Fifth Street shall be closed on Saturday, September 16th, 2023, from 3 p.m. until 11:30 p.m.
Welcome, Sue.
Hi, how
How are
are you?
you? Any updates on this relative to what we've done in prior years for the reunion?
Yes,
Oh, all right. Look forward to it.
and I'll have to send a map. The park should be open. There is a map on the plan that shows where barricades are needed.
Board, we just to pause you, we didn't provide the map because of the size of the event. Our team had already reviewed the event plan. So, but give the board an update if you don't mind.
I had asked for the street to be closed from 4th Street down to 5th Street. And then we'd be in the middle of the street for most of it. But since the park will be available, the band will be in the park on the stage now.
Yeah.
The other items will be in the street. So, and then it'll go from there.
I think it's going to be
That really is
fantastic.
the only change.
Okay, I think it's going to be a great event, and I'm happy that we'll also be dedicating all of the updates and investment to Gaines Park, and that's going to be a central part of the event over the
Right.
weekend.
Right. I bought an article about the last time that the park was dedicated to Reverend Gaines. I
Yeah.
didn't know if you had seen this before. I don't know if this is the time you ask if I can approach the bench.
Please do. Absolutely. Watch the cords, please, though. Yeah.
There you go, you might want to see that.
Oh, I love this. Was this in the Madison Courier?
Yes, 19, I want to say 19,
What year was this?
I'm thinking, I've had a birthday since I was here last. So it
You're
was-
going backwards in age, by the
Going
way.
backwards. I want to say that it was,
March
the-
14th.
The school burned in 1969, so that was probably 3 years later, so
I'll tell you
it's
in a
probably
minute
in
now.
the 70s thereabouts, yeah.
And is
And
this
that's,
Reverend Gaines here on the right?
That's Reverend Gaines
Oh.
on the right there, and behind him is Joe Perry's mother, Mary Perry, and then to the, right behind Reverend Gaines is my mother.
Your mother's in that picture, too. Oh, that's great.
But other than that, there really aren't any changes.
Okay.
We're excited we get to use the park.
Me too. It's going to be beautiful.
Okay, this would have been, Dr. Rucker was mayor, so it would have been
And
1976.
Mr. Muncy was still, I have it
after.
somewhere, but my, is the paper still here?
He is an
Page 3.
encyclopedia of Madison history, so he said it probably was around 1976.
76?
Dr. Rucker was mayor at the time, and he was elected in 75, so it would have been sometime 76 or
And
after.
Mr. Muncy was not still the superintendent of schools.
Pardon?
Mr. Muncy was not still the superintendent of schools.
I couldn't hear what you.
Mr. Muncy was not superintendent of schools.
No, I say Dr.
Yeah.
Rucker was,
Yeah.
was mayor.
And George Cook was
And
superintendent of schools.
The article references Dr. Rucker, so.
That was when, we had a part-time mayor, wasn't it? Wasn't he
Pretty-
part-time?
pretty- yeah, pretty much.
It's gonna be a great event. I'll move that we approve resolution 45B 2023.
I'll second the mayor's motion. Now, I wonder if we could ask the Madison Courier to reprint the dedication here.
I think it's a great idea. Take a look at it, Bob. That's a good idea. Any discussion? Any discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you.
Any opposed? Thank you, Sue. That is it for, let me give that
She's
back to you.
approaching the bench
Yeah,
again.
portion of the bench. Give that back to Sue, and we'll move into the PACE, world of PACE, world of neighborhood revitalization,
Good
the world
morning.
of historic preservation.
Yes.
Good morning.
Two extensions for you. The first is 907 West Main Street. Steve and Jane Martin are requesting an additional 4 months on this dilapidated structures grant. Their new deadline would be March 22, 2024. They have not received any of their funds. They ran into some contractor issues and recently had to hire a new set of contractors. They said the work should start on that part this week. The windows are already started. Roger Welch is doing those for them, so those are off-site being built.
Nicole, can you describe some of the improvements that's,
Yep, this project is getting all new windows. They're pretty deteriorated. Like I said, Roger Welch is creating those for them, wood windows. And then the back side is the most dilapidated part of the structure, and it's getting fixed. I believe they're also doing some tuck pointing and then paint.
you get a paint job?
Yep,
On the front facade?
yep.
Okay.
I think this was a PACE project
Several
before that didn't get completed.
Yeah, several years ago, I would say probably 15, 16. It did the front steps and the door was all that was included in that grant.
I remember that.
They haven't owned this very long, have they?
I don't remember. I know that they don't live there currently, but they do intend on retiring to that
Okay,
location.
good. Thank you.
Okay, can we do both of these at the same time, board?
Sure.
Cynthia Stewart?
And then the next grant extension I have is for Cynthia Stewart at 812 Walnut Street. She's requesting an additional 3 months. That would make her deadline November 30th, 2023. She has received a partial payout for this dilapidated structures grant. The only thing left on this property is the porch work. Her nephew is doing the work for her, so it's a little slower process getting all the construction materials and the work done. But that would give them time to finish and then turn in all the receipts and invoices.
I was on Walnut Street recently and ducked in to say hello to the contractors and visit this property, and it looks really good inside.
They've done a ton
Yeah.
of work. This is an old picture that I just pulled off of Google.
Yeah.
Have they received an extension prior?
Yes, she had previously received 9 months, so this would extend it to the full 12 months allotted.
I'll make a motion, we approve both the extensions, for 907 West Main and 812 Walnut Street.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Now we have some final pace. This is always exciting.
Yes, several finals for you. The first is 921 West Main Street. Catherine Trueblood worked on this dilapidated structures. The porch, two-story porch, was pulling off the building, causing some intense structural damage. So we allowed her to apply for a dilapidated structures grant. She completed that work. Restored the front porch, did some tuck pointing paint, and then some work on a carport, and then the little drive-through next to, that's kind of a walkway now, it's not wide enough to be a drive-through. But she's completed all of her PACE grant according to her agreement, and she's asking for the disbursement of the final half, which is $8,750. Next final is 128 Mulberry Street. Michael O'Neill Jr. Worked on this very dilapidated structure. There's a couple, I know, grainy before, but the inside was completely collapsed. And they shored up the front facade and then tore down the rest of the building and then rebuilt it. It was completed according to their PACE grant, and he's asking for the full disbursement of $22,500. The next final is Jim Pruitt at 702 West Main Street. This rehabilitation grant included windows and stripping off of the purple paint.
Wow, what a transformation.
Yes, it completely transforms that building. It was completed according to their PACE grant, and he's asking for the full disbursement of $7,500. And then the last one I have is Stephen and Elizabeth Thomas at 208 East 2nd Street. Their work included the replacement of several windows on the front and side elevations to match more historic 6/6 windows on the front. Theirs was also done according to their PACE grant and are asking for the full disbursement of $7,500.
So I'll say that all four of these just look fantastic, and I really appreciate all the investment our community is making in their properties. And these two, as you can see, several were dilapidated in a state of condition of disrepair for, in the case of Mulberry Street, a couple decades probably at least. And now we're bringing new life back to those properties, which bring new life back to our neighborhoods. I'll move that we approve all the PACE finals for 921 West Main, 128 Mulberry, 702 West Main, and 208 East 2nd Street.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nicole, I just want to maybe mention, if you'll mention, where we at with regard to status of funding, just so we know that the community will know we're working on another round, so maybe give an update on that.
Yes, we are on the Redevelopment Commission's agenda for their September meeting to ask for an additional $100,000 towards PACE for this year. They have not approved that yet, but we anticipate their approval at that September meeting to have one more final round at the end of this year, because we are completely out of funds, and then we'll get a whole new tranche in January.
Program has been very successful this year. We have some very deserving applications that have been carried forward because of using all of our allocation for 2023, and we could do quite a bit more with one more round.
And we anticipate putting out an announcement when those funds are available with a deadline date and meeting date, because we'll modify the schedule a little bit to accommodate people filing.
You're holding some applications now, right?
I have 2 submitted applications. I also have a list. I started a list of people who wanted to be notified when those funds get released, so they can submit applications.
While you're here, one of the things I was going to bring up in the next section under Mayor's comments was about our efforts on bringing, policy and procedures and clarity, as well as effort toward stormwater management. Would you mind touching on what we've been doing the last few months with regard to stormwater?
Yeah, so the last few months, we moved stormwater management, MS4, from the utility department to the planning department. Myself and Dewey O'Neill are heading that effort. as stormwater coordinators. Part of the requirement under the new state permit that the state put out at the end of last year is that we have to have a new ordinance submitted, fully approved by our council by April of 2024. So we recently released an RFP to get engineering services to help us draft that based on all the good things the rest of the state is doing, best practices, and then the state requirements. So that went out late last week, and so we're anticipating getting responses in the next month and moving forward with that selection process, which will come to you all for final approval.
Well, and part of that too, that's a really important part in the process, is having good policy, but also delineating what is the city's stormwater infrastructure. And there is tremendous amount of infrastructure that we have to maintain across the city, but there's also homeowner responsibility for stormwater management. There are just things that, just because of the amount of precipitation we're getting, is going to be difficult to manage. But our job is to get as much drainage through to the river, through the creeks, the tributaries, gutters, gutter pans, culverts, and maintain that infrastructure so that the water can get out to the river and not accumulate or pool or flood any areas of our interior. So we'll continue to be putting policy behind that, but also working through the Army Corps of Engineers plan that we have for different infrastructure investments that we need to make in order to mitigate the Walnut Street flooding. So that's an ongoing thing, but we'll be compiling that and bringing more organization to it.
I know the Ferry Street project, the drainage area up there that they created, that looks real nice. I don't know who was responsible for that,
did that.
It was just a kind of a dumpy area before. It looked like a little park. Look at it.
Yeah, the whole area is looking better, and plus you're getting more effective stormwater management from NDOT off of 56.
Looks good.
Anything else, Nicole?
No.
All right, thank you. In addition to talking about stormwater management, that's going to be a huge priority for us. It's a very complicated, very technical part, just because it's rainwater that you're trying to manage, but it's also, the policy is also going to be reviewing what best practices are with regard to new development and displacement of water. So not only do you have management of water through precipitation, but you also have displacement of water through development. And that's an area where we also have to improve our management of, and we do that through ordinances and policies and permitting processes. Other thing I want to mention too is I think it was a very successful Riverfest weekend, so I want to thank everybody who was involved in bringing that festival to the community. Looks like it was well attended. The weather was perfect. Everybody was enjoying it. Our street department, Tony, welcome back. Tony Sorrells, welcome back to the city. We're glad to have you back here. City looked fantastic over the weekend. I want to thank everybody who was involved in that at the city level. Keeping Madison clean, safe, and beautiful doesn't happen by accident. Happens with a lot of people who are paying attention to those details. And then on the tourism side, all the organizations, the Riverfest Committee, Aaron Kendall, Madison Main Street, our businesses, the visitors who came here, the sponsors who have been supporting that event for the last 2 decades. Everybody, you put on one heck of a festival, so I'm grateful for all that. And I also want to thank Chief Wallace. Chief, I didn't hear of any issues over the course of the weekend. I know you're going to talk a little bit and give us a report here in a second, but your team did a phenomenal job too over the weekend, and all of our public safety. With that being said, I would ask the chief to give a report before we turn it over to public comments.
Good afternoon, board. Yeah, it was a very successful Riverfest weekend. We deemed that by no major issues. We appreciate everything they done themselves at Riverfest. They do a very nice job bringing on their own security crew and monitor their gates well, and also have off-duty part-time officers, whatever it may be, roaming the facility. So that allows us to supplement them, but also to remain outside of that footprint and take care of the business that we need to take care of. So we did Saturday night conduct and we do this periodically throughout the year, a saturation patrol, which we bring additional officers in, our K-9s, and join forces with several officers from the sheriff's department to target areas which we may be having traffic issues in, of course, look for dangerous drivers and drug interdiction to street level. And so we conducted that for 4 hours Saturday night and into early Sunday morning, and actually had 41 traffic stops, 37 written warnings, 4 citations, 6 arrests, and our K-9s were utilized 6 times with 5 positive alerts and 1 negative alert or negative indication. The arrests were OWIs, had 3 of those, and some narcotics-related arrests, and I believe one of them was had an active warrant. So it was a successful program. So we do that periodically throughout the year, try to target areas in which we have concerns about. So I appreciate the additional officers coming in and joining the officers on the shift, and then, of course, a nice partnership with the sheriff's department as well. We'll
Was it, you said this was Saturday night?
Yes, Saturday night. Into
All within 4 hours, you
yes,
said?
yeah, so they're very active. Like I said, I appreciate the efforts of the officers willing to come in on their time and days off to participate and join the officers who are on duty. And again, it's something we do several times throughout the year, but it's always proved to be very productive and good for the community. I know there has been some concerns, and understandably so, over the recent stabbings we had within a week's period of time. I would just like to thank my detectives and the officers that responded. They did an outstanding job, and within an hour, essentially, of both perpetrators were in custody. So I appreciate the efforts there. And
Those were both just very random
very random,
events.
no connections, no ties together whatsoever. Just random, bizarre incidents. But thank God both victims have survived, and our detectives and officers were able to make some arrests very quickly. So those are disturbing for our community, and it's important that we get on those and handle those in an efficient manner, but take care of them and put that threat and concern to rest that the other citizens may have. So I'm very appreciative of their efforts. Friday night, I attended the graduation of 4 of our officers from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. They took the weekend off, and we're here bright and early at 8 o'clock, and they're starting their field training program. So there'll be at least 6 weeks of field training instruction by 6 of our FTOs. Again, they started that today, and very much excited and looking forward to the future of these 4. I think they're going to be an outstanding addition to our department.
That's fantastic.
Yes. That being said, that's all I have.
Chief, thank you. Great results. And looking forward to having 4 additional officers out there on patrol, keeping the community safe. And we're going to be recruiting. We have 1 opening, and then I believe we're going through the budget process now and adding another officer position. Our goal has been to gradually increase it over the last several years, which we've been successful doing. And we're moving toward a target staffing level for MPD, and I believe that 2024 will bring even another officer to help keep the community safe.
We very much appreciate that. It's extremely important and vital to our success at the department to remain fully staffed, which we know doesn't always happen, but the addition of officers certainly helps, and we appreciate that.
Awesome. Any questions for Chief?
Chief, can I see you after the meeting?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. The final announcement I'll make is that City Council meeting this week will be on Thursday, August the 24th. It will not be tomorrow night. It will be Thursday night. Pretty light agenda, but it was moved back a couple of days. Now we'll just move it into public comment. Is there anybody here who would like to address Board of Public Works and Safety? Please come to the podium and give us your name and address and let us know what's on your mind. Hearing none, our next meeting will be Tuesday, September the 5th. Monday is Labor Day, and which is why our meeting will be on Tuesday, September the 5th, rather than its normal date of Monday. I can't believe we're rolling into September already.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that motion.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?